Now on to our coronavirus update for the day. Serious cases in Israel again topping 100, and the infection rate likewise rising to over 2% as the Delta variant wreaks havoc across the world. Still, despite the Delta variant's spread and conflicting reports on how efficient the vaccines are against the new mutation, Israel's COVID cabinet is looking to reopen as much as possible, particularly ahead of the new school year.
אנחנו פה בשביל לשמוע את התוכניות של משרד החינוך ומשרד הבריאות, איך אנחנו פותחים שנת לימודים כסדרה. המטרה שלנו, כמו שכולם יודעים, היא לא לפגוע בכלכלה, לא לפגוע בחינוך, לא לפגוע בשגרת החיים.
Joining me with further insights is head of the Immunotherapy lab at Bar-Ilan University, Professor Cyrille Cohen. Professor Cohen, thank you so much for being with us. Now, let's begin with the idea of going back to in-person schooling. Is it possible to do this safely without vaccinating the younger age groups?
Yes, hi. This is an excellent question. Right now, we are trying to understand what are the different scenarios for September 1st. We are quite, I would say, concerned by the fact that the cases are rising. On the other hand, education is our top priority. And therefore, we are trying to work around, to find some workarounds. For example, in case, one child is found infected, instead of going into full quarantine, the whole classroom, perhaps only 1 or 2 days of quarantine and then do a quick test, or even without any quarantine, just doing a quick test. There are some quick tests available that can give you an answer within a few minutes. So these are the kind of solutions. Also, trying to split perhaps some of the, crowded classrooms. So these are, some of the solutions, and we have, I would say, less than a month to find out what will be the best. Some pilot will be starting in the Haredi, in the ultra-Orthodox community, because they are going back to school, 2 weeks before the whole population. So some of those, I would say, measures will be tested in real life in the Haredi, in the ultra-Orthodox communities.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit more about actually vaccine efficacy with you, because the vaccine efficacy data has been very varied. Pfizer and Moderna are insisting that their drugs are effective against the new Delta variant. But for how long? A new report in Israel from the Israeli HMOs is showing that those who vaxxed early, for example, as in by February or even earlier, are more than twice as likely to get infected today than those who were vaxxed more recently.
Yeah, so the most important thing when we're talking about effectiveness of the vaccine is to define what kind of parameter we're looking at. In terms of severe disease, so far, the vaccines have been extremely efficacious. We're talking about around 90%, and we all agree in Israel, abroad, Pfizer, Moderna, etc. We all agree that those vaccines, even for people vaccinated in January, are 90% effective in preventing severe cases, hospitalization, etc. The question is, what about infection? We know that the Delta variant is much more contagious, and we see a clear pattern that there is a kind of immunity that is waning in terms of infection, meaning that you can catch the virus more easily if you were vaccinated early on, meaning in January. And therefore here, we have to understand you can catch the virus, but in most cases, it won't develop into a severe case. Now the question is, we're really, I would say, at the, it's a very important time right now when we need to decide, should we give a third dose to prolong, to give, more, space and room so that, we will be able to maintain those numbers of severe cases low? Or should we wait and see if the protection from severe cases will go down, and then we will have to decide quickly if we give the third dose? So I think that as a measure of precaution, okay, we are kind of divided here between, I would say, experts, but as a measure of precaution, I will recommend a third dose so that we can maintain, that state of, I would say, a prevention of severe cases for more than 6 months.
All right. Professor Cyrille Cohen, thank you so much.
Thank you.